Today we're going to show you how to make a zombie, but because it's a 1934 Don Beach recipe with over 10 ingredients, we're also going to show you how to make a simplified version of this from Jeff Berry. Stay tuned. Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm Derek Schomer, and today we're going to show you how to make the zombie two different ways. The 1934 classic Don Beach and Jeff Berry's simplified version. If you wish to get these recipes specifically outside of here and you want the whole voluminous history and all the different variations of the recipe for the zombie specifically, Beach Bum Berries Remixed has all the zombies, and Sippin' Safari has the actual history to how we got to where we are today with the decoded recipes that have been discovered. Because Tiki's so fantastic and mysterious, let's start with some history. Tiki creator Don Beach came up with this specific recipe called the Zombie in 1934 or around that time period. It was a closely guarded secret. In the vast array of ingredients include a syrup called Don's Mix, which by the way is a encoded recipe, which is grapefruit juice and spices number 4. For more information about the syrup history and Don Beach history, 2 links in the description below will get you to those videos. Spoiler alert, spices number 4, cinnamon simple syrup. Second piece, why did everybody want this drink? Why is the zombie so sought after? Why does every Polynesian restaurant have a zombie on the recipe book someplace? It's because the original recipe was a 2-drink limit. You couldn't have more than 2. Those were the rules because it was just so dangerous. Plus, with a name like the Zombie, people were like, I gotta order this, including men who probably weren't into cocktails at that same level. They were probably into like gin martinis and stuff like that. But now you're getting into this crazy Polynesian stuff. Even if it is a fantasy and the Polynesian concept doesn't actually exist anywhere in the world, the mystery's there. The 2-drink limit is super important because it's a marketing tactic and it worked. And competitors try to reproduce that product. And they couldn't because they didn't know what the secret ingredients were. The bartenders didn't know. The only one who knew was Don Beach. Get those 2 books, links below. My affiliate links to Amazon so I can make my 37 cents. So let's do the first build. This will be 1934 classic Don Beach Zombie. Here's the ingredient breakdown. 3/4 ounce of fresh lime juice, a 1/2 ounce of Don's Mix, 1/2 ounce of falernum, 1.5 ounces of gold Puerto Rican rum, 1.5 ounces of aged Jamaican rum, 1 ounce of 151 proof Lemon Hart Demerara rum, a dash of Angostura bitter, 6 drops, 1/8 of a teaspoon of Pernod, absinthe, and a teaspoon of grenadine. Let's get those 2 things that I forgot. Grenadine. Instead of Pernod, we'll use La Clandestine because I can't find my Pernod, but it's down there someplace. Personally, I'm going to start with 6 drops of absinthe. Why? Because if you screw anything up that could possibly destroy this drink, it's going to be the absinthe. Too much, it's going to kill it. So to get this to come out somewhat right, I'm going to take a straw. I'm going to try to straw myself. Actually, let's just do this. I'll add a little absinthe to here. Right in here. Then I'm going to take it. I'm going to trap some in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good enough. We're going to add it just right there into our mix. Now, because there's so many ingredients, something I had mentioned to Dan in the last video we did, you kind of want to work in a direction so you can kind of conquer each thing. So here's my glass. I'm going to put it in. Here's my grenadine. Let's just do the grenadine next. Teaspoon of grenadine, not too much, just a little sweetener. Boom. Good. Falernum, 1/2 ounce. Super simple. Ounce. Boom. Lemon Hart 151. Lemon Hart 151 is the secret ingredient in this recipe. If you don't have Lemon Hart 151, you're probably not going to make this specific recipe. It's 1 ounce. If you use a different product, I have found from my experience that it doesn't come out tasting exactly the way it's supposed to. It's just off balance and weird. That includes Hamilton 151, Bacardi 151, Don Q 151. They just don't work. Well, this is a brand new product. Let's use, we have a gold Puerto Rican and an aged Jamaican. This is our aged Jamaican. This is Apple to the State Signature. I bought it the other day. I like the bottle design. We need 1.5 ounces. We're going to go with a gold Puerto Rican rum. For that, I've picked Sorales' Don Q and Añejo. 1.5 ounces. Done. Now you might be wondering, what do you do if you don't have the Lemon Hart? How could you make this recipe? I'll show you the simplified version. This is the one that Jeff Barry says is an equivalent with a lot less ingredients, equivalent-ish. And we'll taste them side by side to see if that's actually true. Dash of Angostura. Done. Those bitters available at awesomedrinks.com, just like different syrups that we have, or shots if you're making Mai Tais and stuff like that. So you can go to our store if you would like to help support the channel. And lastly, fresh lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce. And then we'll do Don's Mix last. So for Don's Mix, the ratio is 2-to-1. So it's 2 ounces of grapefruit to 1 ounce cinnamon simple syrup. So just to keep it simple, we'll literally just do 2-to-1 seems a little high. So let's go with like 1 ounce of grapefruit juice. And 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Whoop! That was close. Holy crap. Now I freshly squeezed this grapefruit juice. The original recipe calls for white grapefruit juice. Good luck. The season for white grapefruit juice I think is very small. So there is a little bit of grapefruit particle in here just to give us some extra tasty bits. Only going to need 1/2 ounce. The rest of it we just make another one or throw it away. You are literally looking at the most secret ingredient in a zombie. The thing that every company attempted to reproduce but could not. We're going to put it inside of our immersion blender for about 5 seconds. Add some ice. So the Hamilton Beach, this is a classic Hamilton Beach immersion blender. You can get it on Amazon.com. I'll put an affiliate link below. If you're looking for something that can get you a quick stir that doesn't totally dice up and grind all your ice into a tiny little shard so that it over dilutes your drink, this is the perfect product. I use this a lot at the pool. Just hook it in and wire it. That way I don't even need to bring the shakers. I just go and just create cocktails out of this. I, however, bought a larger version for the pool so that we can actually make a lot more at once. Let's get this kicked on for about five seconds, maybe. We'll add a little ice in first, even though the recipe says to add it later, primarily because this is it's got a funky glass design to it. Ice doesn't always sit real well. There we go. That, my friends, is a classic zombie. To top this off, big head of mint. Put like a big mint sprig right on top. Stick a straw in there. I'm out of mint because I kind of might have killed all my mint. So I don't have any right now. And it's going to give you that mint smell, aroma on the first sip as you're taking it. But it doesn't really have any other applicable value. So, first thing I'm going to tell you. It's strong. People will tell you, you could go watch reviews on YouTube of the zombie and everybody will tell you how delicious it is. This is not that delicious of a drink. This is strong. Lots of flavor. You get your cinnamons. You're getting your that 151 bite. It's so potent. It's almost sour. And there's not that much lime juice in here. All things being considered. And you have the sweetness from the grapefruit, which isn't really that sour, with the cinnamon simple syrup. So you're getting a little mild sweetness. But Lemon Hart punches through strong with like a potent brown sugar demerara blackstrappy type flavor, but not medicinal like you might get out of more of the darker rums that use charred oak barrels, which they're dark rums, but they're definitely more medicinal in flavor. None of those attributes. However, it does have the medicinal, like, you're going to forget your name after one of these. When it comes to tiki cocktails, I will take a Mai Tai any day of the week over a zombie. This is a great drink to experience what it would be like to have walked into the Hollywood bar, Don, was it Beach Don? It was a Don's Beachcomber, I think was the name of the bar. Yeah, Don's Beachcomber. This would be probably very similar to what you would get there. The only big parting difference might be the dark rum or the Jamaican rums you used, but there is a little bit of the funk from the Appleton. Other than that, it's strong. It shows you if you can finish this and you want a second one, like you're doing it just because that's the rule and that's your limit and you are trying to make a name for yourself. But traditional tiki it is. It's got the sour, it's got the bite, it's got a little bit of that dryness, different types of trade spices, cinnamons. The Angostura is going to give you that allspice flavor, some of those notes, very subtle because there's a punch of alcohol. And the rum isn't like a rubbing alcohol. It's just all encompassing and present in your mouth. The simplified version, much easier. It's going to be 3/4 ounce of fresh lime juice, an ounce of grapefruit juice, a half ounce of cinnamon syrup, a half ounce of 151 amber rum, and an ounce of dark Jamaican rum. This one is going to be within a shaker because, again, simplified. It's like any other drink. An ounce of grapefruit juice, a half ounce of cinnamon syrup. I think I got enough in here. Oh, yes. 2 limes was perfect for these 2 drinks. Boom. So, a little history on the 151s we've chosen here. I am going to use Don Q 151, primarily because it's accessible. I believe Bacardi 151, which I have half left, is no longer in production. So this is now a collector's item. And not only is it a collector's item, it's really not that great. So that's just why I'm not using it. Dark Jamaican. I have chosen to use Myers' original dark. It wasn't even a month ago I said I don't like this stuff. Don't see a need to own it. I went out and bought a big ass bottle and it's mostly gone. It's only this much and that was just from 3 weeks. Lots of pool parties over the summer, making batch cocktails. So this works really good in larger cocktail volumes. In this drink, it calls for dark Jamaican rum. There's really not that many out there. So I figured it was the thing to do because that's probably what you guys would do. So we only need an ounce. Up here we go. Shake it, I don't know, 10, 12 seconds, 15 seconds. And of course, this badass gunmetal shaker is available at awesomedrinks.com. A nice, pretty good amount. Little trick for you, if you're making these drinks, I highly suggest you just top that sucker with ice before you hand it over to somebody to drink, because it's already going to be a strong drink, and the last thing you need to do is get people completely wrecked. So just be liberal with your ice to push up the volume so that it fills out the drink, looks good, but doesn't give them enough that they can't figure out how to get home. You could straw it if you want to. So between these two, damn near looks similar. I mean, this one's got extra ice at the top, so it's a little bit more clear, but color-wise, they got that like orangey tea color, which maybe that's why you use that dark rum. Ooh, much more cinnamon forward. Much, I want to say sweeter. There's definitely a good kick of cinnamon in this. I don't get too much of the grapefruit. A little in the tail end, you get a little bit of bitter, but that could be the, or bitter, more like a sour. That could be the lime playing in too. A little grapefruit flavor, but the lime sour bite. That's kind of nice. Definitely more, there's definite cinnamon coming forward in here. No real taste of 151, so you don't get that mouthful of booze. It's very approachable. This, now that I did this comparison, this one, you definitely get the contrast of the absinthe. Like right away, there's that bright herbal absinthe flavor that kicks in. I wonder, did this get weaker with just sitting for a second, or did I just get used to it? No, you just had to stir it a little bit. It is equally just as strong as it was the first time I tried it. There's just too much alcohol in here. This is not a balanced drink. Now, from what I understand, the history says that Don worked forever on this specific drink. It has intention. It's going to be overly boozy on purpose. The other thing I heard is that when Trader Vic tried to take this, he took one of his other recipes he had already produced, I think it's the Tahiti Punch, and then he just added more rum to it and called it a zombie. The zombie's synonymous with boozy, rum forward, alcohol forward flavor. Boom, check. This just tastes a little too good to be a traditional zombie, but it is shitload easier. I would say that this is a better drink. Design-wise, I think the ambitions and goals of this were obvious. The ambitions of this is to mimic that, but I feel like Jeff also wanted to make a more serviceable drink that he could serve at his restaurants, like Latitude in Louisiana. Because if you served it as a zombie, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably a zombie, because I didn't have this thing referenced next to it to compare it to. So it has the nature of that rum flavor, not as demerara, not as much absinthe. The falernum notes are gone, so not as much clove and trade spices and angostura. But if you wanted to get some of the angostura or any of that, take Jeff's recipe and just add yourself, a half ounce of falernum and maybe a couple dashes of angostura and move on from there. But once you do that, you're losing the spirit of the simplification of a very complicated drink. But the beauty of Tiki is you build on a base and you make something your own. He did the same thing. There's a 1950 version of the zombie. There's multiple different takes on this product from the original creator, making their own riffs and changes over the years. So it's not surprising that you could do the same thing. So there you go. Go make yourself these drinks if you can gather all the ingredients. Head over to awesomedrinks.com to pick up some of those ingredients and Tiki mugs and stuff so that you can get building. Sidebar, more videos, all Tiki based. Down below is our Bartender Awesome Drinks Bartender Starter Kit. If you need to get started with something, that's your baseline. That's it. We're teaching you how to drink. Also, there may be a live stream on August 20th, 2022 if you're around.